All right, here we are, Over a Beer, episode 4. A special one tonight. This episode is brought to you by Breakroom Daily. This will be your news source for go-to reading on the toilet, covering all things entertainment, sports, betting, booze, movies, music, and more. Also insightful resources on travel, business tips, and financial advice. This is your one-stop shop for being in as an adult. Check out Breakroom Daily now. Subscribe for free today. The launch will be coming soon, so take advantage of that deal while it lasts. Subscription information in the description, so check that out. But without further ado, I'm joined here by Jim, my colleague, who's also a drummer, so I think we have pretty good insight here. How's it going, Jim?
It's going well. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you came.
Thank you.
So we got a lot to dive into tonight. We're going to start out with just a brief overview. American Horror Story, 1984, dropped on Wednesday, 10 o'clock show, so record it if you're old like us. Also, Blink-182, 9, the album came out today. We're both big Blink guys, so that'll be a fun conversation. We'll do a little Blink talk. Last but not least, we'll go through just some football stuff. Pardon me. Mm-hmm. Football's the name, right? Football American. And we got Antonio Brown cut today by the Patriots. That's some big news. And then also just 4 games I want to look at if you want to throw a parlay together for Sunday. So I guess we'll start. I'll kind of give you the floor, and then we can go from there. American Horror Story, 1984, just initial thoughts. What do you think?
I liked it a lot. I think that it's going to be hard to do over a whole season. It felt like they could have done the whole thing in an hour episode. So I'm curious to see where they go with it. Obviously, American Horror Story goes off in tangents, and so we'll see how it goes. And some parts didn't make a ton of sense, but overall, I liked it. I was excited about the episode.
I agree. Tell me, it could have been a great movie.
Yeah.
If they would have had an hour and 40 minutes, I would have paid to go see that this weekend. A lot of good homage paid. I'll start just with the Halloween stuff, and you can get into the Friday the 13th if you want, because that's your forte. I thought it was really unique. They have a character named Jingles. He has a keychain that jingles when he walks. Kind of a creepy dude. Apparently he cuts off the ears of his victims. He's a former military veteran, a very brutal guy. Dishonorably discharged, can't even say that word. But Jingles, he's a lot like the Michael Myers in this story. He was in a mental institute. There's an initial tribute where the nurse is pulling up to talk to her patient, but all the patients are out in the yard. It's very similar to Halloween. The character Jingles essentially killed the guard, took off back to Haddonfield, which is going to be Camp Redwood. And in doing so, he basically killed a guy and stole a car. Very similar to what Michael did. Yeah. So lots of, I guess, similarities there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it definitely feels like a homage to old school slasher movies, especially with the Halloween, with the insane asylum scene.
Yes.
But a ton of Friday the 13th throwbacks. Even the woman who owns the camp, I can't remember the character's name, but she is dressed almost to a T like the owner of the camp in the original Friday the 13th. Yeah. So it's cool that they're throwing it back to some slashers. Always love a good slasher. There's not enough of them anymore.
I mean, they did a great job with the 80s. They did electronic music, similar to Stranger Things, like even during like scary scenes, which was kind of interesting. I think like the satire of like aerobics and exercise of the 80s was hilarious. Also, like the intro when they first, I guess after like the initial scene, you got like the introduction. Yeah. That was really well done. It was really cool and groovy. Not to use that word, groovy.
Yeah, I liked it. I think maybe one of my favorite opening American Horror Story montages, which they're always really good. So
absolutely. Last piece on that, and we'll move on to Blink. The Night Stalker, the Satanist character. Did you know that was based off of true events?
Yes.
I know they've done some like some Easter egg type stuff with real serial killers in the past.
Oh man, there was definitely a Black Dahlia one in Murder House.
Yeah, that was
Murder
right.
House, yeah. So yeah, they do like to bring in real life events.
Right, to make you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Night Stalker, what was cool about that, he was around June of 1984 when the show was based. He killed 13 people.
Jeez,
and
I
then
didn't know that.
there was a stretch until the spring before his 14th victim came out. So American Horror Story is playing off of where was he for those months. So it's kind of neat.
I didn't even know that.
I looked it up after because I recognized like the name or something. I used to have a weird obsession with like scary stuff. Still do.
And the episode ends with him coming back.
So there's going to be 2, Freddy versus Jason style at the camp.
Perfect.
That's what I'm getting.
Hopefully one of them gets burnt alive.
Yeah, the one faces their fear of water.
Exactly.
So that's cool. So we'll dive in now. Without further ado, the episode is Blink-182 based. That's why we're here. 9 came out today. There's 7 colors in a rainbow, so that has no significance, but there are 9 Blink albums. That's my take.
There are, including Buddha.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have included otherwise, but
Not a
Mark
big
told
Buddha
me
guy.
It's on there.
Yes, I agreed with that. I guess right off the bat, we'll start out. We're going to score it. I think we discussed this.
Yep.
We're going to do a round number so it's not sloppy, throwing decimals in there, talking over each other. Odds are style, so you're the best at that, so I'll let you count us down, and we'll both throw our number out.
Yeah. So we're doing it out of 10.
We're going to go out of 10,
Okay.
our rating for the album. And we both listened to 3+ times now, so my score has changed slightly.
3.5,
yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
7.
7. Oh my God.
This is going to be lame as everything I said. Definitely.
We're just gonna get the same review twice.
We're just going to talk over each other like that. So like I was saying to you before, if I was going to give it a decimal, like a 7.4, 7.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I had 75%.
Yeah.
That's what I had it.
Great album. Middle to top tier Blink album. We'll get into that a little bit later as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely, it grew on me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the most part, we did a little bit of good song, bad song. I had a much harder time finding bad songs. I think at worst, most of the songs can be a little bit bland from here. I think that it's a little bit longer than it needed to be, but I'm a 10 to 12 song album guy at heart.
Agreed.
So I think it was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but overall I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, me too. I definitely agree. 12 songs, everything's solid, maybe one throwaway. I thought they had 14-ish good songs. What was it? It was a 15 or 7?
Songs,
all right, so 13 good songs, 2 could have been thrown away, so they could have probably shortened it slightly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you lead. We'll kind of go with a little bit of negative first. There wasn't a whole lot I think we both agreed on, but we'll go with a few songs that we could have lived without. I think we're going to have a very similar one, so I'll let you go with your least favorite song first.
So I've been talking about this for a few weeks now, but Really Wish I Hated You, or I Really Wish I Hated You, whatever it's called, probably the worst Blink-182 song there is. I do not like that song. The second I heard it, I was like, this is not what I want, and it made me not even care as much about the album, but based on the other singles, I was glad I really got to dive into it, and I'm excited to kind of see how it grows on me moving forward. But Really Wish I Hated You, skipped.
Agreed. That was the one of a few songs that let's say I listened to the album 3 times, I listened to that song once, and I had already pre-listened. So I agree. Wasn't my favorite song. I guess first example outside of that, I thought Heaven, although a great song, it found its place on like a Plus 44 album. Yeah. It was just like vintage Mark owning the band. Yeah. That was my feel.
I thought that song landed more in the like bland versus bad. And another one that I didn't love was the last song. Remember to Forget Me, I think is the title. That sounded like an R&B song. They had a drum machine, which too much drum machine on this album in general. Travis Barker is a drum machine, so why put the drum machine in? Right. But yeah, that was one I really didn't enjoy. The last 2 of the album actually I think could have been cut, and it would have been fine.
No, I agree. I think one of the last few was Remember to Forget Me, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the last one.
Yeah, and that was, again, a song I had. It sounded like a 107.1, like a WERZ, like breakup song. Yeah. Or like a really obscure example. I felt like it could have been an alternative song to like Where the Wild Things Are. Like it almost had that feel to it.
Okay, yeah, I kind of see that. Yeah,
like a more depressing version. So, no, I agree. So, I mean, that's some negative we can play off of. Let's go to positive because that'll be more I guess, enjoyable. I know what your first one's going to be, so you can kick off.
Well, actually, I'm gonna kind of pivot. I know you know what my favorite song on it is, but one song I really liked was First Time, which is the album opener.
Yeah.
I was wondering, can you tell me just the beginning part of that album, what song that reminded you of? What Blink song?
Oh man, now you got me on the spot. Well, because I like heavily listened to the intro, and then like I realized I was like not paying attention to the latter song, so I tried to focus there more. I guess First Thoughts. Where were you at?
It's almost the exact same opening as Feeling This.
Oh,
I think they were going for a little bit. Like,
that could have been. There was like 2 songs that I had that I really enjoyed, but that had very similar feels. So that definitely, that could have been something I picked up on initially.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like stored it away because I was like, I need to focus on other areas. So that's cool.
Yeah. I think that was definitely like an
didn't they have to like the do? Yeah.
I wanted to hear, like as it started playing, I was like, get ready for action.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
I like that.
I was still ready for action.
I like that. So we'll see if you agree with me here, but one of my favorite songs, Happy Days.
Happy Days. I like that one. I think that for me again falls
Bland.
Not bland. Probably a step above Bland.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable song. I think the chorus is a little bit boring. Just happy days, happy days.
No, I agree, and I was thinking outside of the chorus there. Like this song, like I love just due to like overall like meaning. It's very centralized around like not giving up on your dreams and you know really like you're gonna have like days that aren't the greatest, but to continue to dream. There's actually a line that I really loved. Don't quit your daydream.
Yeah,
which was like super cool, and like that just spoke to me. I'm a dreamer. I like to do all this business stuff, so that was a big reason why a lot of the lyrics outside of the chorus were great.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think minus the chorus, it is a really good song.
Yeah.
I would say probably the surprise of the album for me. When I was first listening to the album on the way to work this morning, I put on is it Black Rain? Yeah, Black Rain. I put on Black Rain, and it starts out, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a crappy ballad.
Yep.
And when it goes into it's like almost a metal song.
Yeah.
And when it goes into that,
it's hard.
When it does that little like guitar stop, I was like, wow, this song is unlike any other song I've ever heard Blink-182 do.
Yeah.
So that was the song I came out most excited about after listening to it a couple times.
Dude, that song was sweet.
Yeah.
That was one of the songs I made a point to like listen to all 3 times.
Yeah.
And that was super. And I mean, I meant to mention this at first, but Skiba, dude.
Skiba.
We'll go with Skiba. Dude, he's so much better instrumentally than Tom. Tom's a 10 times better frontman.
Yeah.
So like what they were able to do with this album, like I think Travis gets better with Skiba in the band, as odd as that sounds.
Travis Barker on this album,
fire,
unreal. Like Blink-182's Untitled album is my favorite drum album of all time.
Yep.
I love that album, but I really enjoyed this, and it felt like the drumming was really in the forefront, minus the stupid drum machine. I'm
going to segue, and I know you love the song as well, Generational Divide.
I do love that one. I love a short punk song.
Yeah, the intro off the bat, like first 10 seconds I can live without, but as soon as they get into Travis, additional instrumentals, like as a drummer, that must make you salivate. That song was like so technically done, so many, like I'm not a drummer, but I know what he was doing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we know Travis Barker.
Right.
Greatest drummer ever, in my opinion.
Great example.
My lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song, he is just going hard. I'm sure his hands friggin' hurt after. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, just get it out.
I don't know. Yeah, and that song I like too. I think a lot of the album this works. There's a lot of interplay between the vocals where both Matt and Mark are both singing at the same time. And I feel like this was really a shining album for Matt compared to California, where he felt like a background.
Yeah, like Mark was the front man. Yeah. He was a guitarist.
Which makes sense because they kind of introduced this new lineup.
Right.
So
Mark's a great vocalist. Yeah, I like Matt. I like Matt a lot.
That's Skiba.
Skiba. All right, call Skiba. Skiba. No, so dude, I definitely agree. This was definitely a breakout album for him as far as Blink goes. He's obviously had great material in the past, but Travis, my second or third favorite drumming album, is like bold as that sounds. So
yeah, absolutely. I think the way that it was all mixed really highlighted what Travis was doing.
Yep.
But why wouldn't you want to do that? I think he could probably play any style of music and could fit into any band and like really add a lot to them.
He has done it.
I know a lot of the criticisms I've read about him is he gets a little bit too hip hoppy and does a little bit too much, but like I just really enjoy everything he does.
Well, he can also do like the half beat where you get the roll in on the snare, and it's so sweet. So no, that's awesome. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. I think first listen, both you and I didn't like it. And we thought the video was kind of cheesy. It was a lyric video, Blame It on the Youth. That song grew on me.
Yeah.
That song humps.
And I was lucky enough to see them live this previous summer, and they played that song. And that song played so much better when they were just them three playing it.
Yeah.
I thought, and I think that's a problem with the album entirely. I think it's a little bit overproduced, a lot of whoas and a lot of, like I said before, the drum machine. And so just hearing them actually play the song, I feel like it worked a lot better. So I wish that they would kind of tamp down the production a little bit.
Agreed.
On future releases.
No, I agree. It just grew on me. I don't know. The chorus is easy. It's like a song that you know the lyrics the second time you listen to it, and that's always like. I mean, for me, you're not a big country guy, or I don't know if you are.
Not even
Luke Bryan, a lot of his lyrics come out and they're catchy. Like that was a catchy song, but it wasn't too mainstream. It wasn't sellouty. It still had some Blink core to it, which was really cool. So. I mean, that's mine. Do you have a last one that stood out for you, or?
My absolute highlight of the album has to be Dark Side. I think that song is so much fun. I think that's the song that 10 years from now we'll be listening to on like our Blink Greatest Hits playlist.
Yeah.
The opening line is wicked fucking stupid. It's like, she's dressed in black like a girl he says from another world twice in a row, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But other than that song is wicked fun.
Yeah.
And especially with the video, I don't know if you saw it, but they like do it with a bunch of kids, and I really liked that.
Yeah. So that'll wrap up Blink Talk, at least for the albums. We're gonna quickly dive through just our favorite Blink albums. So we'll go worst to best, and then we'll get into some football talk and things to that effect. So, do you want to lead off? Or you want me to?
You can. Let's hear what you got.
So I'm gonna go 9-1. The album's called 9. It's not because there's 9 colors in a rainbow. It's because Blink-182 has 9 albums.
Apparently.
I know we're going to disagree a little just because I know your preferences, and that's fine. But, I mean, obviously their debut mainstream album, Buddha, could have used some work. California, for me, was right there.
Wow.
Cheshire Cat, there's definitely a lot of songs on that album that I still listen to regularly. So I listen to more of that than California, so that's why it slightly got the nod.
Yeah.
Neighborhoods was great. I put 9 there, right in the middle. Enema of the State, I mean, when it comes to nostalgia, that's like my number 1. But in sake of like albums that are the best and my favorite, I would put Enema there, middle to top tier. Dude Ranch, I loved.
Yeah.
I could listen to Dude Ranch every day. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, another album that I literally could listen to on repeat. And obviously, I think we both agree, self-titled, one of the greatest albums of all time.
Easily.
So that would be a greatest hits album for me. So that's where I stand.
Okay. For me, I got Buddha last. I think.
Yep, sure.
It shows a lot of potential, and it kind of lays the blueprint for later albums, but it's rough. It's a rough listen. Then Cheshire Cat, I think. Same thing as Buddha. It's a little bit more clean, but it's still not great. Then I would put California, which I really liked California. I think California is the cutoff of like albums that I really still will listen to on a regular basis.
That's fair.
And then I would have to put 9.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit darker than California, which I felt like California was just trying to recreate Take Off Your Pants and Jacket a little bit.
Fair.
And then after that would have to be Enema.
Okay.
Which I feel like is blasphemy as a Blink fan to put that low.
Yeah, it sounds so bad.
And then Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Enema and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket feel pretty interchangeable for me. Okay. Then it's Dude Ranch. I'm more of a punk guy, so that kind of plays more to my punk sensibilities. It's a lot more raw, and I just really enjoy that album.
Dude Ranch is fun.
And then finally the Untitled album was just the peak of their
Neighborhoods. I was like, are you putting that number one?
No. Oh crap.
I was waiting for that because I know you like it.
I love Neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So I would still have to put Neighborhoods behind Enema.
Okay.
So it would go Buddha, Cheshire Cat, California 9, Neighborhoods, which I love Neighborhoods. I think that is such a slept-on album.
Yep.
I think that Natives is probably a top 10 Blink-182 song, and just
like it.
And I like their darker stuff typically. Yep. And then again, Enema, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Dude Ranch, and then the self-titled, Untitled.
We're very, very similar.
Yeah, I think I like Neighborhoods more than you do.
Yeah, I mean, we had one spot off, but I think I definitely slept on Neighborhoods more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, for me, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I enjoyed 9 more. Mm-hmm. Neighborhoods, I guess for a lot of people, like, coming back album, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it had a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But 9, if Tom was there, you better believe 9's ahead on your list too. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, absolutely. So. And I think there's time for 9 to like really grow on that list. Like, I feel like a week from now I can be in love with it, and a week from now I could also hate it. So it's hard because it came out today, and I've listened to it 4 times, and I feel pretty familiar. But as time goes on, I really feel like I'm gonna be able to place that more accurately.
I feel like 9 could be a secondary name for a Stranger Things character.
I feel like I hate that it's
11
called 9.
-2.
Yeah. I feel like I hate that it's called 9, and I hate the album cover, but for the most part, I enjoyed it.
I agree. I don't hate a rainbow, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's just a bad album
If there's 9 colors in a rainbow, I've said this a few times. Okay, cool. Well, let's dive in now, just while we have a little gap before sports. We got an entertainment in. Mm-hmm. Let's do our beer review.
Okay.
This week, our beer is by Alternate Dimensions. It's an Altbier Ale, which sounds very interesting. 28 IBU, so it should be a little bit lighter, so you might actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
He's a big bitch and loves twisted tea, so you'll see him pour that soon. 5.6 ABV, so a little bit of kick to it. So I feel like if you drink a 6-pack, you can be feeling all right before you go out. So without further ado, nice fall colors. Let's do this. A little harvest beer.
Cheers.
Ooh, I actually like that.
I'm glad.
I'll let you lead with your score because I know you're not a big beer guy.
Yeah, not a beer guy. Not the worst beer I've ever had, but so if I scaled it on beer, I'd put it at like an 8. But I don't like beer, so if I scaled it on drinks, I'd put it at like a 2, maybe.
Where would you put Twisted Tea?
Twisted Tea? 10. I can drink that all day and night.
What a rook.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. This is probably, arguably my favorite beer we've done yet in this segment. I believe I was in the 8s last week, but I'm gonna go against that theory I just put out there. I'm gonna give it a 7.9. Really good beer. It looks almost like a porter. It's darker, but it's very flavorful and light, which is weird for like a porter style beer. Mm-hmm. If you haven't checked out Alternate Dimension, it looks to be a pretty cool company. I love the color scheme. So
I love the top, how it's two-toned.
Yes, it does. It's got that Halloween feel to it. So now's the time of the year to buy it. So cool. So yeah, that's the beer review for this week. I'll give you kind of a last thought when we finish up. Next, we're going to talk a little football. I'm going to let you lead because you had a little more background on the whole Antonio Brown cutting than I did. But the Patriots released him today. If this comes out on Saturday, it'll be yesterday. So I guess we've talked about this for the last week and a half. So what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Overall, good riddance. Fuck that guy. He seems like the worst. I can't.
Sucks.
Yeah, I can't be that Patriots fan though. That's I didn't want him the whole time. When they signed him, I was stoked.
I partied.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be the best offense ever.
Yep.
I still think they're gonna win the Super Bowl because they're the Patriots. But everything that's come out since his signing, it's just not worth it. And I want to be able to comfortably root for the Patriots.
Right.
And not worry about.
And it's hard to put aside knowing an athlete's background and then watching them on the field.
Yeah.
Because admittedly, his trash started to come out. And then in week 1, when he scored that touchdown, I was super pumped.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't want to feel like a scumbag. This dude, potential rapist, threatening people's family. I know you told me this recently. The artist, he had sent her a picture of his family.
Sports Illustrated article.
Yeah. If you want to dive into that.
Yeah, so he basically threatened this woman who came out with accusations against him in the Sports Illustrated article. Texted her and a group of people and a picture of her and her kids.
Shady.
Basically being like, it would be really unfortunate if you came out with more stuff about me. And I think that's what led to the Patriots releasing him.
He's like, I'm going to post this picture on my social media.
Yeah. He does love the social media. But yeah, overall, I'm glad he's gone. It's just one less thing to worry about in what should be the Stairway to 7, as I've heard it called. Yeah, Stairway to 7.
Patriots, going back to my 14-2 thoughts, that's fine. I didn't lay a parlay on 16-0 and Super Bowl run, which would have made me big money, so I feel a little better about him being dropped.
Yeah.
But I think 14-2, minimally Super Bowl appearance. I like the Seahawks. That's my dog in the
yes.
NFC. So
yeah, I think the Seahawks are a good fit. Especially, I think they're going to make a real push to get Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
And if he's on their team, Pete Carroll loves a douchebag cornerback. Like, yeah. So
their defense is already feisty too.
Yeah,
so
especially with Clowney now.
Add to that. So, all right, cool. We're going to go through 4 picks this week, all fairly close games with the exception of the Pats. I always like to throw that in there. We'll see if we have any disagreements, but I think you get a pretty safe parlay if you go off of what Jim and I said. Not really. I'm a losing bettor.
Yeah, don't listen to my picks.
Patriots giving 22 points versus third-string quarterback Jets. What do you think about that line?
That's a big line, but I think you got to do the over there. I mean, when they played the Browns on Monday night, it looked like Adam Gase was afraid to let Luke Falk throw the ball. And the Pats' defense is so good. I think they're just gonna kick the shit.
And Cleveland would have covered that 22 points, right?
Would they have?
Do you remember the final score? It was like 3-20. Was it 3-20?
I think it was like 27-6.
Oh, okay.
So they would have been like right there. Yeah.
And Patriots are
much better than Cleveland.
Football fields ahead of Cleveland.
Streets ahead at least.
So I think we're both agreeing. I'm taking the minus 22, but that's not going to make its way in a parlay this weekend. But if you like to bet on the hometowners, take it. I think it's safe.
Yeah. The Jets are a dumpster fire right now. So
terrible. This next one I like, and I think the Colts are getting a little hype here. But the Falcons are in Indy. They're getting 1.5 points. What are your thoughts on the Colts giving points with the Brissett factor?
I think that Brissett is an NFL quarterback, and I think that especially on the road, I don't trust Matt Ryan. The Falcons in general are just chokers, and I think they're terrible. So yeah, I would take the Colts on this one too.
This is one of my locks of the week. I like the Falcons money line. I mean, they're coming off a big win in Philly. I mean, the Colts are coming off their win in Tennessee, but obviously Tennessee's strength has been diminished after that Jacksonville Jaguars performance. Oh, so I was going to give them more hype, but Minshew's beast. So I like the Falcons to win there. I think they win by a score. That's my take. The next one I'll be curious on. I know you're a big Chiefs guy. The Ravens versus the Chiefs. The Ravens are getting 5.5 points. Do you think that's enough of a spread?
I think that'll be a close game. I think it's in Arrowhead, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs will go over that.
So you think so you're giving 5.5 if you're...
I don't really know what these
I know you don't know much sports lines, so if you feel comfortable by the Chiefs are going to win by more than 6 points.
Yes, I do think so. I think it'll be a 2-score game. I think Chiefs by like 10.
That was my thoughts there. I mean, when I saw the 5.5, that's why I put it in here. I mean, I think that'll be probably the game of the week potentially.
Easily. Yeah.
But 5.5 doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah. And if it was in Baltimore, then I think that would be a much closer game. But Arrowhead Stadium has always been a tough place to play.
And the Chiefs are just fire.
Yeah.